his tenure as chairman of NBC News, Lack was personally involved in the effort to kill Ronan Farrow's story on Harvey Weinstein. We told you a lot about that over the past couple of years. The sexual misconduct allegations that derailed Harvey Weinstein and Matt Lauer weren't really secrets exactly. A lot of people knew, they just didn't say anything. People like Noah Oppenheim and Andy Lack at NBC News both assiduously protected Harvey Weinstein. Noah Oppenheim is still the president of NBC. Andy Lack is still the chairman, despite his own documented history of sexual indiscretions with NBC employees. Andy Lack and Noah Oppenheim over at NBC, as you just pointed out, kill the Harvey Weinstein story and now accuse you of sexism. Yeah. So when Lack wasn't protecting a serial predator for being a major Democratic donor, Lack also protected Matt Lauer, and then under Lack's leadership, NBC sent the Access Hollywood tape secretly to the Washington Post in an effort to swing the 2016 election for Hillary, and then fired Billy Bush, who just happened to be standing there, and wrecked his life. Rich McHugh is a longtime investigative journalist. He worked for years at NBC News as a producer, and he joins us tonight. Rich, thanks so much for coming on. So before we get to Andy Lack, I want to run something by you that I have heard, and I honestly don't know it's true, so I just want to know if you've heard this. But I have heard that the New York Attorney General's office is investigating NBC on sexual abuse, sexual harassment claims, and no one's been charged, but that people have come in and been interviewed, NBC News staffers, producers, executives, and talent. Have you heard anything about this?
Yes, I have, Tucker. That is true. I'm aware of it. I've been looking into it for a story. It was the New York Attorney General's office, civil division. So, you know, we're not sure if it could lead to anything criminal, but I do know that they've been looking into this and interviewing employees over a number of months.
Well, that's kind of amazing. So just to be completely clear, and I don't think this has been reported, and I look forward to your story for details, the New York Attorney General's office is looking into NBC News. Remarkable. Andy Lack, though, kind of walked out today. What are the circumstances there? Was that ahead of this investigation? Was he fired? Did he retire? What do you think happened?
Well, one has to assume that they caught wind of this investigation because it's been going on for months and they've spoken to dozens of employees. So I believe that has a role to play in it. And, you know, there's new management at the top, and so they've decided, you know, we're going to try and get away from this black eye who presided over the Harvey Weinstein story and the Lauer disgrace and all of it. So this is a good first step, I should say.
Yes.
But I should point out that I've spoken to a number of women, you know, victims who've worked at NBC, and they say, you know, the fact that this Andy Lack gets to walk out of the building, you know, on his own accord is a disgrace. Their careers have been ruined. I personally left NBC largely because of, you know, things that he and other executives did with our reporting on the Weinstein story. So, you know, the fact that he can just kind of walk away is upsetting.
It is upsetting. I mean, I've never seen a news division work harder to squelch news than they did in the case of your amazing story, which kind of changed a lot of things. Have you talked to Ronan Farrow about this, about Lack's departure?
I haven't. No, we haven't spoken. We texted just briefly, but I haven't spoken to him. No.
And really quick, how can, this is, I guess, a kind of theoretical question, but how can Andy Lack be gone, but Noah Oppenheim is still there? Do you think he'll stay?
It's a good question. It looks like this move has taken some of his power away. And, you know, I think it needs to be said that if they're really going to clean house and try and restore their credibility, they need to clean house because one half of the team that presided over our reporting, killing our story, is still in power.
Yeah. 30 million Americans out of work, but Noah Oppenheim is still drawing a big check from NBC. Like, you tell me how that's fair. Go to church, get back to me, Rich, and tell me how that's fair. Great to see you tonight. Thank you for that. Thanks for confirming.